When I was 3 years old, my dad took me to my very first movie in the theater ever. And that movie was Spider-Man. And I remember two things about that day. Number one, I love the movie. And number two, this dude freaked me out. And my dad's solution to me being scared was telling me that instead of watching the big screen, there was a little tiny screen I could watch instead, which was just the projector light at the back of the theater, but for me as a kid it worked. But this first ever movie theater experience stuck with me, especially probably mostly because of this guy. But what I didn't realize is the reason why it stuck with me. And obviously a lot of it has to do with Willem Dafoe and his incredible performance, but we can also give a lot of credit to the director Sam Raimi. You see, Sam Raimi is notorious for mixing horror elements in movies where it doesn't seem like they would fit, and sometimes making it work. At least, I think he is. I mean, that's what I've heard. That's what I'm here to find out. A couple weeks ago, I saw the trailer for this movie called Send Help, about a hard-working and disgruntled employee named Linda and her entitled nepo baby boss named Bradley, and didn't think much of it. Until I heard who was directing it. Sam Raimi, I thought. I know that name. Isn't he good at horror or something? I remember he scared me when I was 3 years old. So I went on this journey to find out. Can Sam Raimi scare me as much as he did when I was 3 years old? Does mixing Survivor and horror together work? And most importantly, how does this all fit into the MCU? Welcome to my review. No spoilers. Send Help starts out by introducing us to Linda, played by Rachel McAdams. She's been moving up the ranks at the big company she works at. For 7 years, she's been grinding to get that promotion she deserves. She's been working so hard that she might even have a shot at becoming the vice president. But that all goes bye-bye when the CEO of the company dies and his delightful son Bradley, played by Dylan O'Brien, takes over. And by delightful, I mean not delightful. So these two already have beef with each other when the plane they're on crashes into the ocean and they're the only survivors. They take refuge on a nearby island and the power struggle begins. The acting in this movie is amazing. Rachel McAdams can play a ditzy worker lady and an epic survivor woman, and she could play a whole lot more in this movie without getting into spoilers. I thought it was crazy how I could just look at her and be like, I know people like that. That's real. Dylan O'Brien's character is a little bit more over the top, but he plays it so well. He has a certain laugh in this movie that immediately becomes iconic. Not only are Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien great in this movie, but they're great together. Their chemistry is surprisingly intoxicating. The relationship between them is the crux of the movie, and there's a lot of fun happening there. The movie is funny too. People were laughing the whole time. The parts that I chuckled at were mainly due to how crazy the premise gets at sometimes. And that's the fun about Sam Raimi. I think it's kind of a downside as well. Because it gets crazy to a point where at some scenes you're just like, what? What is going on? It's really amazing how the movie manages to be a horror movie the whole time. Because yes, it starts out a little fun and silly, but the music and the editing always add tension so you feel like you're watching a horror movie the whole time. For example, there's one scene in the movie where the characters hide in a cave away from the rain, and as they come in, you see a spider on the wall. Just reminding you that even in this safe space, it's a little bit unsettling. And I really like this movie. I think it's enjoyable and fun the whole way through. It had some pretty bad green screen at some points and some of the action was a little bit over the top. Both of these things taking me out of the movie at some point, but overall it was a great time. But that's not the question. The question is, did Sam Raimi make me feel like I did when I was a little kid, shivering in my little 3-year-old tennis shoes? No, not really. This is still definitely scarier, but instead of being scary, this movie is a delight. But apparently the island was too far away from New York because Spider-Man didn't show up.